Hello, everyone. If you are there yet, and I'm not sure if you're there yet, let's check and see. And it looks like I am live. So happy Saturday to you. And if you're on another part of the planet where it's Sunday, then happy Sunday to you. All right, as you guys know, it takes me a minute to get everything set up here. And if you don't know, it takes me a couple minutes to get everything set up. So let me just set things up and then we will start. And the first person here is Dana Criscooley. Hello, Dana. Okay. And basically I need to set things up while it's live. So that's kind of what I have to do here. Let's turn that on. And I've got to give a new Discord link for anybody who wants to join Discord. So let me get that. And let's see, invite people, and there is the new link. So let's put that on the video. Oops, lost it. All right, so that should be pretty good. So underneath in the description, you'll see the Zoom link if you want to join me and share your story with the world. And if you want to join the Discord, that link is there too. Give me 1 second and let me set up my excuse me, my wife's computer. She'll be here in a little bit. And then I'll be back and we can get Kent in. All right, so let's get started. And I got to put in my headphones. And once I get a break, I recorded the podcast today with Ask Angelics. So I've spoken with an archangel today. And tomorrow I'm supposed to record the podcast with Ray Fierstein. And he's the one that has the machine that talks to beings on the other side. So for 2 days in a row, I'm talking to the other side, basically. And let's see what's going on with Kent here. Asked to start video. And let's see if I can come over here. I want to be able to watch it live so I can say hello to people and see what's going on in the chat. Your channel, so let's get to that. Let's don't do it like this. We'll do it like this. And then let's see if that'll make it. There we go. Right, so we have 53 people here already. That's awesome. Welcome, everybody. And we're waiting on Kent to come in. And if you want to join, I hope you will come and join and share your story. And I need to post this live on my Facebook page for the JeffMara channel. So if you didn't know, I do have a JeffMara podcast Facebook page. And if you want to message me, that's one of the best ways, because you can go to the page and you can message me privately. And a lot of people either tell me about guests they'd like me to have and or ask me if they want to be a guest. So that's something that we can work on. All right, Kent is almost in the room. We got more people showing up. That's awesome. That is really awesome. I like that. Okay, so asked to start room. Let's see. We're almost there. So my wife made a turmeric shake, And I think I've spoke to you guys before about the healing powers of turmeric, and it's really great for you. But you have to use turmeric. It's best to use it raw, because if you're going to use the powdered version, it only can be 30 days after it's been powderized. So if it doesn't have a date when they've actually processed it, it's probably too old and you lose all the medicinal benefits. So it's best just to take the root, kind of peel the skin off, and then grind it into your shake. And while we're waiting for Kent, I'll wait one more minute and then maybe try someone else getting there, and I'll just put Kent back in the waiting room. I've been giving health tips from time to time, and my health tip today, and this is even what I taught my kids, is to remember that for every 4 grams of sugar in something, that is 1 teaspoon. So it kind of brings you reality of how much sugar. Like, for example, some of the sodas, I think there's one of them that has like maybe 50 or 60 grams of sugar in a bottle, right? So if you're having, let's just say 60 grams, 40 is 10 teaspoons, and then another 20, so that's 15 teaspoons of sugar. I mean, that's incredible amount of sugar. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room, Kent, until yours is getting settled, and so I'm gonna see if I can get Suzanne in and see if hers will start quicker. But I didn't kick you out, Kent. I just put you back into the waiting room. And now we're up to 4 people. That's awesome. So yeah, that's something to remember if you want. Because even if you're not overweight, it's still not good to just consume too much sugar. It's not good for you. And I tell my kids also that, sugar does not exist in nature like it's something that's processed. So to get sugar, they've got to take sugar cane or sugar beet, and they've got to get it from that. And you would never consume that amount of sugar in the excuse me, you'd never consume that amount of sugar naturally, that what you would get like in a soda or some candy and stuff. I mean, so she's gone. All right, let's try Oliver. Wait, is she gone? Yeah, I guess she's gone. I don't know what, maybe hers crashed or something. So yeah, you would never naturally consume that amount of sugar. Oliver. Can you hear me? Oh, it doesn't say. It says that your audio is not connected yet. Maybe since you didn't have your headphones on, it hasn't connected your audio. So we'll give you a moment. But you look familiar. I'm pretty sure I've had you in before, and I really like your brick background. I think that looks cool. If you can hear me, it says you don't have audio. There's no audio. See, when you have audio, there's a little microphone like I have right next to my name. And your audio is not connected. Can I ask to... Oh, no, I can't ask to add audio. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't think so. Maybe. Can you hear me? I can also do chat with us. Let's just see if he can see this. I don't know if you have your YouTube on, then you can understand that you need to turn on your audio. Your audio is not connected. Where was chat? Okay. Turn on your audio, please. How about that? Did you see that pop up? Yes. All right. So he got the message.
So, does it work now?
Now it's working.
Great. Okay. So
All right.
I think that was the YouTube browser was blocking the microphone for some reason.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. You've been on before,
Right.
Haven't you?
I have, yes.
I do remember you. Are you from Austria?
I am from Austria, yes.
All right. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning there or something, right?
It is 2 o'clock in the morning now. Last time we talked a little bit later than it was 3.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for staying up with us. I appreciate that.
I got up. Same thing again. We had a big demonstration yesterday, and then I disinfected myself with some ouzo, and then I woke up.
You disinfected, and now you're cleaned up, and you're...
Yeah, absolutely.
So what have you got new for us this time?
Well, we had the biggest demonstration of this century in Austria yesterday. The complete city center was occupied with demonstrations. It was at least 100,000 people.
My gosh. You know, I just saw on the news that in Melbourne, Australia, there was a demonstration of 500,000.
Yeah. Well, Melbourne is a little bit bigger than Vienna, or I don't know, maybe.
Probably.
But the Austrians are not, usually they're not that numerous with political demonstrations, but this one was huge.
It seems like the most, I don't know the right word, mobile or ones that demonstrate in Europe are the French.
Yes, they have a long tradition with that.
Are the Austrians traditionally people who gather and demonstrate?
No, they're not usually. No, they are grumpy and they complain, but they don't go out on the street, and they want everything to be peaceful, and usually, it's changing a little bit now with the situation we have.
They pushed you over the edge.
They did. It was very surprising because also the surprising thing also for the people organizing the demonstration that happened yesterday was that there was a sort of coming together of different parts of the country and different political camps. You had Antifa demonstrating alongside the populist right.
Wow.
Yeah, and they gathered in different parts of the city center, but then in the end they joined in one big demonstration march which covered the circle around the city center completely.
Well, it seems like it was a good thing. You've got some unity.
Yeah, and it was very peaceful. There was a really great atmosphere. The energy was very positive. It was not hostile at all. It was very, you could feel that people were having a sense of relief. We're not alone in this. That was great.
I saw some video of somewhere where people were demonstrating and that they were so polite that barricades were knocked over and they were picking them back up.
That's not what happened yesterday. There was no need for barricades. Something interesting happened. Usually when those demonstrations go close to government buildings, they have a lot of barricades, right? I mean, especially if you have 100,000 people, you need them. They removed them yesterday, the police. They opened up the doors of the public buildings, of the parts of the government, sometimes the parts of the government that had announced the lockdowns, and they had the ones that had announced that every single Austrian by law needs to be vaccinated by the end of January. Every single person. They want to put this into federal law, and they opened up the doors. So you would imagine they would protect like the government buildings, but some of them were completely unprotected, maybe on purpose, maybe not, I don't know. And nobody walked in.
Interesting.
People just peacefully demonstrated and walked by.
Well, did anything paranormal happen to you at the demonstration?
No, but you could feel a very good spirit. But I have a paranormal story for that demonstration to tell you.
Okay.
A little more than 20 years ago, 1 week before the 9/11 attacks, I was also in Austria, in a different part of Austria, at the Ars Electronica. Do you know the Ars Electronica?
Oh, is that electronica music?
It's a festival for electronic art.
Oh, cool.
Has been going since the early 1980s.
Like synth pop music and stuff.
All sorts of electronic art, visual art, music.
Oh wow, I'd like to
installations. It's a very well-known festival actually, but it's a little bit hardcore in the sense that the art that is displayed that is not pop culture. It's cutting edge art, right?
Okay.
So I went there just to have a look at I wasn't producing anything or something like that. I was just watching the event. And then in the evening we went out with a guy from California who was a curator with his wife or partner, and then we went drinking with some woman from Israel, and we went into politics, discussing politics, and having lots of beers. And I went home to my hotel really drunk.
Mm.
And as I do when I have a lot of, when I wake up in the middle of the night very thirsty. And I had a dream, which was a prophetic dream. I have those from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And in this dream, I looked into the future. It was actually a far ahead future. It was not next year or something like that. It was more distant future. And I saw the future, but I saw that I'm not in the future.
Uh-oh.
I was missing from the future.
Uh-huh.
So I started to investigate, like Sherlock Holmes. You know, I went, what's going on here? Then I asked some spirits for guidance and said, what's happening here? Yeah. And they told me, and then I saw I have symbols that are recurring in my prophetic dreams. So if I see a car, it's my family, the development of my family, the timelines of my family. If I see a bicycle, it's just my personal development. If I see a bus, it's a bigger group of people. You get the picture. It's all transport.
That's pretty cool. You figured that out.
Vehicles. Yeah. And I saw like a car in the river with my sister and me in it. And we were clearly dead. And the river was a superimposition of the Hudson River in New York and the Euphrates River in Iraq. And so I asked the guiding spirits around, like, what's going on here? Like, why are we dead? Why are we not alive at this point in time? And they said, well, it's what happened. What started in 1989 is going to finish now. And I woke up with only that feedback. I was like, okay, I cannot figure this out. The only thing I can remember is 1989. I met my Finnish girlfriend. And we're already separated, so what has this to do with anything? So the next day, I didn't go partying, only had healthy food, went to bed with this peaceful spirit, and with the clear determination, I'm going to clear this up, right? So I went to sleep, and I immediately called for my guiding spirits and said, I demand to talk to highest authority. And they said, well, yeah, we can do that with you, but you need to go through several levels, and there's an elevator. We will lead you to the elevator. They led me to the elevator. I went through all levels of reality, came to highest level. There was a sort of a committee there, and one of the committee members was clearly the boss. And so I told highest authority, I cannot accept this result. This has to be changed. And highest authority said, okay, well, then we'll change it. And I said, thanks, bye. And turned around, went back to the elevator. And then highest authority said, wait, you cannot just, you need instructions. Otherwise, you are not able to access the alternative timeline. So I said, okay, fine. Turned back again. So, okay, what's the deal? What do I have to remember from this? And he said, well, you will see something. When you see this, you need to not do what you usually do. Usually when you see something bad happening, you try to stop it. This time, don't. Don't try to get involved. This cannot be stopped, okay? And he showed me the symbol. It was like a ball of wool, but it was very solid, and it had like gaping holes inside. Like it looked like this somehow. So he said, when you see this is a bomb. Don't touch it. Don't try to disarm it. Just walk away. That's the instruction. I was like, okay, fine, thanks. Went to the elevator, went back down, and then there was a cut, and then there were two scenes after that. The first scene was, I was in a sort of a basement. There was a party going on. Everybody was drinking. And I was going around like, where's the bomb? Where's the bomb? Where's the bomb? And then I went into the kitchen. Under the kitchen sink, I saw this thing. And I saw it had a timer, which was a digital timer, right? So I thought, I'm a computer scientist. I know digital timers. I can disarm this thing. And they're like, oh no, I will not come. I have my instructions. Don't try to disarm it. So I went, but I'm going to warn people. So I went out to the party and I told the people at the party, guys, there is a bomb under the kitchen sink. Don't try to disarm it. Leave the building, please. And everybody was just ignoring me. And then I talked to my sister and said, let's get out of here. And my sister said, bomb? Where's a bomb? Have a look at the bomb. I said, it's under the kitchen sink, but don't touch it. Okay. And she's like, I want to see it. She went into the kitchen, looked under the kitchen sink, saw the bomb, and to her eyes, it was the same bomb, but it was like floating in air. It's clearly symbolic. And to her eyes, the timer was like a sand watch, like an analog watch. And she's like, oh, that's it. I know this kind of timer. I can stop it. And I said, don't touch it. And she's like, no. This is easy to disarm. I was like, okay, I'm not going. This is clearly not working. So I just left. And then the bomb goes off. Everybody's killed. And then the next scene was a big procession down basically the middle of the Manhattan Island, one long, very wide street down the middle of the Manhattan Island. And it was the funeral procession of my sister. She was dead. But there were hundreds of thousands of people going down that road. And I thought, but it's really nice of all these people to show up for the funeral procession of my sister. And then it dawned on me, like, this is not just my sister who died. There was clearly much more people who died, right? And then I felt somebody tapping my shoulder. And then I turned around, nobody there. Again, somebody taps my shoulder, turned around, nobody there. And I thought, I have to adjust my frequencies. So I adjusted my frequencies, turned around, and I saw my sister. And I told my sister, you are dead. And then she's like, oh, that explains a lot. And then she said, what happened? And I said, well, this was a diabolical bomb. And the word diabolical was like red, blinking. It like a subtitle in the movie showing you, please take this word literally. This bomb had a diabolical mechanism. It will kill the people who cannot disassociate themselves from their professional vanity. The vanity that links them to their job is the thing that kills them. That was the end of the dream. And then I needed 20 years to figure out all the symbols. So Euphrates and Hudson River were, of course, for the Iraq War, which happened 2 years after that. And that bomb symbol, funny enough, that was the building they later built in Beijing for the Chinese Olympics, which coincided with the start of the financial crisis. So when I saw the thing, I thought, oh, the bomb is just a financial crisis. But it still didn't make sense, because what is the kitchen and what is the kitchen sink? But now it's clear, the kitchen is the laboratory. And the kitchen sink, and under the kitchen sink is the secret project in the laboratory. And the bomb, we all know what the bomb is. I actually talked to my sister and I warned her. And as predicted, she ignored my warning, and now she's vaccinated and I'm not.
Now, when you're saying the financial crisis, which crisis are you referring to?
2008.
Okay. I kind of thought so, but I wasn't sure.
So all these things in 2001, 1 year before 9/11, all these things were connected in one thing: the financial crisis, the Beijing Olympics, the laboratory in Wuhan, the coronavirus, and now the vaccinations. It's all connected. The only thing that didn't happen yet is the procession in Manhattan for the victims of the vaccine.
I would assume that would have been maybe just after the Twin Towers got knocked down. Maybe there was something to do with that, and rebuilding the Twin Towers, or,
The sequence was clear. This is the last thing that happens in this whole sequence. And the last thing that happens is after the vaccination thing. So
now, have you prophesized other things before?
Yes, but they were usually in my private life. And I could stop some of them, right? So when I was a child already, when I was a teenager, I saw an accident that would happen. We were, our family went on a trip to Italy, and I saw the car accident the night before we left. And I told my father about it. So this trip will not go well. We will have an accident. We will crash on the Autobahn on the way to Italy. And he knew that I can prophesy the things, like, because I had told him about the grandmother thing that I told you last time, etc. So he took it seriously. So he was watching out for signs, right? And then he felt like a little vibration in the steering wheel. And it was just when we were turning on the Autobahn and we were heading for one of these metal guardrails. And because he was paying a lot of attention, he stopped just to be sure, checked the car, and all the tires were faulty. There was a complete batch of faulty tires that would have exploded.
Wow.
So he had all the tires exchanged while we were traveling to Italy on the shop, and we had them all replaced by the tire company. That's just one example. I saw a lot of things coming.
Well, we've got it now. We've got this recorded in history. We'll see if your prophecy comes true or not.
I know that people will ignore this warning because that was part of the instructions. I was told don't interfere, so I don't. But the professional vanity is an important thing. This disaster cannot be stopped, but the people who want to survive have to understand that their ego is not their job.
Yeah.
They are not their job.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. All right, Oliver, thank you so much for staying up for us. I really appreciate you coming back. I hope you come back again. It was a joy to talk to you, and I wish you the best.
Thank you very much, and all the best to the US.
All right, bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, so I think we started with Kent first, so let's just check back with Kent and see if we can get him in. And we'll see if his system is working. If not, we'll move on and we'll put him back in the waiting room. All right, so we've almost got 200 people here. That is great. And we've got people in the waiting room, so that's great. And as I mentioned earlier, I met with Ask Angelics today, and I asked quite a few good questions thanks to you guys, and that video should be posted on Tuesday. And then tomorrow I'm going to be meeting with Ray, and he is the man that has the machine that we talk to beings on the other side, and I'm going to record it with him tomorrow evening. So I put in the in a community post if you guys have any questions that you would like me to ask. It's best if we don't ask personal, and I kind of already knew that actually with the angelics today. And before she actually told me that before I even started, in there, and I kind of told her, I kind of thought that like I can't just say is John Doe has an illness and what's going to happen to them, because it's kind of it's too specific. I just have to have random questions about humanity. All right, I'm going to put Kent back into waiting room. And we'll go with Edward's iPad. Let's see what's up with Edward. And Swamper, yes, it's kind of like a spirit box, but different. Oh, all right. It's funny is I thought Edward's iPad seemed familiar, but now I figured it out. It's Eugene Braxton. Welcome, Eugene. How are you today?
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
Great.
Good.
We've spoken about NDEs and UFOs. Did you see the video that I posted yesterday with Juliana Oka, the Japanese woman?
I saw the title, but I didn't get to see it, the video.
Yeah, she was a fascinating one. She has a lifetime of UFO contact.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
You might want to check that out. I mean, and she became a painter. She's a world-class violinist, and she has painted a lot of her UFO experiences.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
How you been?
Great. How about you?
Okay. Good, normal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Keeping good health, trying to sleep right and eat right. Yeah.
Well, those are two huge things. I mean, you probably already know that. Just getting enough sleep is so important, and eating well is important. Did you catch the video that I did with the woman from ASIST, the organization that helps people that are struggling with their spiritually transformative experiences and helps them process them into their life?
I did. Oh wait, I saw the title, but I didn't get a chance to see that. Yeah,
All right.
was that good?
Yeah.
105.
Right. You've got a lot of homework here. You've got a lot of catching up to do.
I do.
So what's new with you?
Normal. Just been watching the skies. Like I was out 2 days ago, Friday, or Thursday night. So I saw it was cloudy here in the Northeast, and I saw a light in the sky that was kind of white or grayish, and then it changed to orange and blue. Then it did it once more. So I said, let me get my phone out and film this. So I got 5 shots, which I'll put up on Facebook, where it just changed colors. I know something was happening in the skies that night, but I'll check it out just to see what it was. But just been watching what the people are doing, what the planet's doing, just watching.
I don't know if you've heard me chit-chatting here, but I met with people today a channeler that channels archangels, and we did a session where he was actually channeling when I was recording. So I'll be posting that probably on, I think, Monday. And
wow.
And then I don't know if you saw, I had a guest on a couple weeks ago, Ray Fierstein, that he created a electronic device. He's an electronic engineer to communicate with spirits on the other side. Did you happen to catch that one? Or check out his Facebook page?
That sounds interesting. Is he an engineer or something?
Yeah, he is. And tomorrow, me and him are supposed to meet, and I'm supposed to record a podcast with him of me. He's going to... And actually we kind of messed around with it after I recorded the last one. And he was saying, well, let me kind of backtrack, and hopefully I'm explaining this right, but it modulates the signal out, and it's kind of alternating frequencies all the time. So it's constantly going from frequency to frequency, and you hear different voices from different frequencies. And you're just broadcasting. And I was saying my name and broadcasting and trying to ask questions. But he told me 2 days later, he turned it on and my name was still being repeated back. So someone was trying to communicate with me. He says it's kind of like turning on a porch light on the other side, and I guess the other beings can see it and come to that signal.
You've actually heard these sounds.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I will check that. And you've taped that already, right?
I haven't taped it yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow night. We just kind of experimented after I talked to him about his NDEs, because he's also had NDEs.
Ah, okay. Wow, that does sound good.
Yeah.
You're doing some good shows, Jeff.
Thank you. And if you guys don't know, Eugene has been a guest. He was actually a 2-part guest. And you can check out those, and as well as he has a book out. And where can you get your book at, Eugene?
It would be best to get it from my website, which is Eugene Braxton at wix.com.
All right, so you guys can check that out. Well, you got anything else new for us?
No, just it's going into another season, winter, and the sleep patterns and dreams have changed a little bit, where I'm usually pretty good in summer and winter, and just watching the patterns, just observing, keeping good health, and just like with the basics, keeping good health, taking the vitamins, exercising lightly, fasting, thinking well, trying to keep clean and organized, and trying to keep one foot in the business or physical world, and then the other foot, especially at nighttime, in the spiritual world. But just trying to keep a good balance. Mm-hmm.
I hope you will check out this one that I did with the archangel today, because we were talking about NDEs, the purpose of NDEs. And I think one of the things that I got from it, I have to go back and listen if I want to get it all straight, but it seems like a common theme is that we create our own reality. And if you don't, basically, if you want to, it's up to us to change our reality. If you're here suffering, it's up to us to change it.
Yeah, and it all starts inside the mind, like how the person thinks, feels, controls their thoughts, actions, and emotions. And then once you control the lower physical things, then you can move up higher to the mental aspects of the person's personality. But yeah, hunger, sex, thirst, greed, once you get rid of those lower things, then you naturally elevate up to those higher levels. And it's super worth it. You won't even want the bologna and stuff anymore.
I think, I don't want to give away too much, but one of the things that the archangel talked about today was that demons do not exist, neither does hell. I don't remember the explanation, and if you want the explanation, you're gonna have to watch, but you're gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, everyone, especially in those realms, will see and interact with what they, especially deep down, think and believe. There's a balance to everything, and there's a balance in that world too. And there are super good things, and then other things that you have to be careful of. You have a good protection in that world, especially if you're with God. But alone, psychologically, it would be damaging to not have that outside secondary protection or primary protection. And so if you're with God, you can explore those realms with safety and introspection. But each person, depending on their beliefs, will get what they think they should get. And it's all about the inner part of the person, not the outer part, which is not the real us. It's the inner self that's the real me.
Yeah.
And everyone knows. Yeah. People know that.
Right. I mean, it's like, to me, obvious.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you're a musician, and they're super psychic. Yeah. But it's good to see the people, because when I was doing my research in '97, I started, into about 02, 5 years, and then. So I was away from the people, normal people, for a lot of years, really from about 97 to about 2012. Then, so about 2016, I started to get among the people again and see what they were thinking and about. And it's, I'm amazed at the level that they jumped in the last 20 years about their spiritual knowledge. You know, used to be people weren't even talking about meditation or breathing. A little bit of meditation, but not about breathing and manifesting and that kind of stuff. So it's good to see them improve.
Yeah, it's great how everything's changing now.
Yeah, people are really into what we used to, in our age group, couldn't even talk about.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't talk about coming out of your body or dying and come back to life, or UFOs, because just like some of the older ones say, they would lock you up. You'd get taken somewhere and checked out. But now you can speak freely about those things. And the older ones have a lot to say because they've experienced things but haven't really talked about it. So it's good to see them come out and tell about their experiences too.
Yeah. All right, Eugene, I got to run. I've got, I think, 3 people or 4 people in the waiting room, so I got to move on. But thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. I appreciate you, and maybe I'll see you next week.
All right, Jeff.
All right, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, so Kent is still here. I'm going to try bringing Kent back in, and we'll see if his system is working. We'll see what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that maybe Kent's going to come and tell us about his NDE. Sometimes when we have someone that we have difficulty bringing in, like I think more than once, and sometimes I even have difficulty, or it just seems like I have to put in energy to get a certain guest sometimes. But most of the time, the ones that appear to be more difficult to get in or get on the podcast as a guest end up being amazing podcasts. So let's do a prediction here and see if Kent has something amazing to share with us, because like I said, it's difficult for him to get in. All right, so I'm going to put you back into the waiting room, Kent. I'm not kicking you out. I'm just going to move the next person in until you can figure out what's going on. And this is Jeremy, if that's his name. 251 people. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope I'm not giving away too much of what I spoke to the channeler and his mother today. And that's Robert Henry and Renee. But I guess I'm teasing you guys a little bit, so hopefully you'll want to watch it. And let's see what is going on with Jeremy. Jeremy is not in yet. So, devils, demons, and witchcraft, human thoughts. The chat is very active. And by the way, another reminder, I did put a link under the video in the description for Discord. If you want to join Discord, it's free. You can make a free Discord account and you can go meet like-minded people and hang out with them on Discord. You can chat with each other, you can voice chat, and you can even video chat within Discord. The archangels is I recorded it today, and it won't be posted until I think it's going to be Monday. But I recorded it, and that was from askangelics.com. And I had forgotten that they are based out of South Africa. So that's another international guest too. Oh, Typo, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I hope you're going to come on and share with us today. Thank you for the super thanks, I think is what it's called. Ask to unmute. Jeremy, you're almost with us. Ask to unmute. All right. Let's see. I can't wait for it. Maybe that's for the ones with Ask Angelics. Which archangel did you speak with today? You know, that's a good point. Oh, Jeremy to me. I can't. I do not have a mic. Well, then how are we going to talk to you, Jeremy? Are you on your phone or are you on a computer? Because if you're on your phone, you should have a mic. I was a little bit. I was wondering with their let me put names of archangels, because I think she said Azrael or something like that, and I'm not that familiar with all the names of the archangels. Archangel's name and mission. If there's a list, is there an archangel named Azrael? This doesn't quickly put out an archangel name. All right, so I'm not sure what's going on with Jeremy. I'm going to see I'm going to move you back into the waiting room and go with our good friend Stephen Cake and see what's up with Stephen this week. And let's see, Angels of Heaven. I don't see it. Is there an archangel named Azrael? Hello, Kathy. Hope all is well in Australia. Maybe it was Uriel. Maybe that was what it was. Stephen, where are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Now I see you.
No. Let's see if I
Welcome.
can get the. Is the webcam not working?
It wasn't Mike. For the other people, it wasn't Michael. It wasn't Gabriel. I know that it wasn't those archangels. Do you know the name of the archangels, Stephen?
I know Michael.
And I haven't edited it yet. Once I go back and edit, I may catch the archangel Azrael helps when. Oh, then maybe it was Azrael. Okay, since there was, it sounded like she said Azrael, but I couldn't confirm that because I don't know all the names. So maybe that's true then. Maybe I had Archangel Azrael there today. I'm almost. Can you hear me, Stephen?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you, but
Okay.
I'm wondering. This is what it's like to be clairaudient. I hear the voice, but I don't see the person.
I was messing around with the webcam. That's why. Because I was like, oh, I want to do some juggling, and then it's like I was like fiddling with the settings, and then like you had me in. I was like, I guess we'll just go with whatever works.
So what's going on? What's up with your webcam?
Well, like I said, I was in the settings, and then you brought me in, so it's like I don't know what's going on with it.
All right, here we go. Because everybody wants to see you. That's the beauty of YouTube. It's like, you know, we just can't hear you. We've got to see you as well. And it looks like you're in the black.
I'll leave and come back in. Yeah, I'll leave and come back in.
You are in the black void. All right. Well, he's gone. All right. So I need people to come share. There's 253 of you guys in there, and there's got to be someone who wants to come share with us. And I would say don't be shy. I mean, I was watching the chat the other day of people who had been in, and I think people in the chat had realized that even though people would say they're nervous in the chat, but you don't see it here, right? You don't see it at all. So if, you know, I think that's one of the most biggest fears of humanity is being, you know, embarrassed or, you know, publicly speaking. But this is a great way for you to get over that fear because you can come and share, and you're here with an audience that wants to hear your story. Like Stephen.
Well, there
you're back.
Yeah, I had the other one hooked up, kind of like, you know, I was like doing the little juggling and do a little dancing and juggling.
What part of the building are you in? Are you like in a basement or are you in your room?
It's an old building. It's a 100-year-old building. I'm in the third floor, brick building. Yeah, they have Wi-Fi.
Nice. No, I forgot. Where are you based out of again?
Duluth.
Is that Minnesota?
Yeah, it's right at it's right on the tip of Lake Superior.
Is it snowing there already?
It did snow, but then it melted. There's still snowmen sitting around without any snow.
Will it get does it get below zero often there in the winter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets all the way down to 20 below, so it gets pretty.
Wow.
If it's above zero, then it's like, then you can go outside, but once it gets below zero, then it's like you don't want to go out.
Wow. Have you ever gone outside? I think I've seen people, I don't know how, 20, 30, 40 below zero, but they'll go out with a cup of water and then they'll throw it in the air and it immediately freezes.
Yeah, if you throw it like boiling water, when it's that cold, it just instantly evaporates.
That's cool. So that's
dangerous though. Don't do it.
yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, I've never experienced any, that cold. I think that, only thing I've gotten to here in Texas is into the 20s.
Yeah, I knew a guy from Texas, and they said they shut everything down when it's like 50.
Yeah.
It
Well,
snows.
if it is, we'll put it this way: if it's 30 to 32 and it starts to rain, that means it could turn to ice. That at that point they close the highways, especially at nighttime, or at least they close all the bridges, because we just can't handle it.
It's got to be pretty bad for them to close things down here.
Yeah.
It's got to be like 20 below or something, and just tons and tons of snow.
Wow. So is Duluth at the top of Minnesota near Canada?
No, it's right on the point of Lake Superior, where it makes a point.
Okay. All right.
So it's not.
Are you far from Are you far from Minneapolis?
Yeah, it's like a couple hour drive down there.
Not bad.
They get an extra 2 weeks on each end of summer down there. We've had it snow like up to your knees here, and you go down there, it's like 70 degrees in nice weather.
You go where and it's 70 degrees?
Down by the cities.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I guess maybe you get that lake effect or something.
Yeah, it does.
So have you had anything paranormal happen to you this week?
Oh, lots of paranormal.
Anything new
created
besides...
a machine where I could teleport back and forth with, but then a fly got inside with me, and then I turned into a fly. That was very scary and frightening.
Sounds familiar.
I created a band, the Wings, John created Superstar Man, George joined the Indian Beatles, we just left Ringo in a room with a drum set, just pounding away.
Have you, most of the people here, I think, come regularly, so they know about Monique. Is she doing that to you?
Yes. She's just always joking. Like, I was out walking today, and like I go to the grocery store and I go, people must think I'm nuts, because I'm like, my hands like going like this all the time, and like, I guess nobody cares.
Would it be possible if you had a little card that said, "Don't mind me, it's Monique"?
Don't mind me. Yes, your wish is my command. Yes.
Have you seen that movie, The Joker, with Joaquin Phoenix?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, Joker. Well, the character has Tourette's, so when he's in an uncomfortable situation with people, he hands them a card that says, "I have Tourette's. That's why I'm, acting this way." And it kind of reminded me.
That's a good idea to have a shirt.
That's why it gave me the idea that if you had a card, you just said, "It's not me, it's Monique that's making me do my hands all over the place." And you're frozen. Oh, now you're
back.
And
then when I tell some people, where I live here, there's like 30. There's like 30 people where I live, and some people I tell them about it and they're open to it, and some people they don't think it's any. No one's ever said like, "Oh, you're delusional" or anything, but some people just don't think it's anything. So.
Interesting. Do you think Monique will ever leave you and move on?
Maybe if I get my life back, but like I don't have a life. So like this is what she does. It's like you said about asking games. Like I tried that once with writing, and it's just you're just gonna get circles, squares, diamonds, rectangle, like all the basic. Like I can't automatic write or anything like that.
I was gonna say, yeah, it'd be amazing if you could write and let her write for you. Like she'll write what she wants to say. But I still think that, and don't you think it's possible that if she's listening, can't she raise the right hand for yes and the left arm for no?
But she won't play by the, like it's just like you said, raise two hands for no, and she's like, okay, no.
Oh,
but then it's like let's just dance too, and then let's just see. I'm letting it happen too. Like I could, like you said, you could fight it. Like I could just.
You can
fight it and not move.
You can do that. You can force it where she can't move.
I
your
just let it
arms.
go though. I just let it go.
Right. Right. All right, man. Well, I got to run to the next person. I've got 2 people
All right,
in
you
my
gotta do
waiting
what you
room.
gotta do, man.
I've got to do what I got to do, brother.
This is the best show on planet Earth, folks. You're gonna love it. There's a guy who does Donald Trump, and he's on Newsmax, and they like love him. Like, I also do Donald Trump myself, too, folks. He's not the only guy in the world that can do it. I can do it too.
I haven't seen that one. But I did notice.
My internet sucks.
I recently saw that you've left a comment in one of the videos, so it's nice to see that you're there watching.
Yeah, like I said, I try to watch, but I don't always. I think some people saw her picture because I did put up a picture of my spiritual experiences, and she's on there. So if people want to see her.
Oh wow. Oh, you know what'd be pretty cool is if you are you on the Discord?
No.
If you join Discord, it'd be cool, and that's free to do. But it would be pretty cool. I think it'd be really cool, and I'd be curious is if you can post a picture of Monique in Discord so we can see what she looks like.
Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be sweet. All right. Well, I will see you next week, perhaps. I'm going to run to the next person.
Bye.
All right, take care. And that was he's gone. He just let himself go. All right, so let's check up what typo's up to. And it's interesting. We'll wait till she gets here to ask her on that.
Hey there, nice
Hello.
to see you.
Nice to hear you. I don't see you.
Oh,
yet.
do I not have a picture on here again?
Negative.
Okay, hold on. There we go. Hi there.
Go.
Nice to see
Hello.
you.
Thank you for the super thanks today, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. You got that computer yet? You know?
I actually ordered it because it's a Mac computer, and I went ahead and ordered it. Even though I ordered it a while ago, even though I didn't have the money, I felt like I have to get it anyways because it's just driving us crazy how long it takes. It really takes about, after we edit a video, for the computer to process it, it takes about 8 hours. So what even drives me nuts is if I make a mistake, then sometimes I got to wait another day to be able to post the video. And then even during the editing of the video, it's slow because, and the computer's was at the time one of the most powerful Mac that I could buy 6 years ago, but it's just things have changed. And I love Apple's Final Cut Pro editing software. So that's why I stick with Apple. I really like that. I guess I love it. I love that software. So I like it. I like it for editing videos. So, and you're gone. Where'd you go?
Sorry. 1 second. Yes, I will give you a ride in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I'm on.
Anyways, my computer should be here in sometime in December because they couldn't give me an exact date, and it has a new chip in there called the M1 chip. I guess Apple is now making their own chips. Like it used to be Intel chips. And so now, since they're making their own chips, everything's supposed to even sync up and process and work even faster. So it'll be amazing if it can go from 8 hours to 1 hour. Because and that's running. And as I've always said, that's really one of the biggest, it may be the biggest reason generally. You know, the only 2 reasons I don't post every day is usually it's either I can't get the video out, and secondary is that a guest cancels on me, and sometimes guests have to cancel. There's just stuff that comes up in their life and they have to cancel, and I can't fill the slot that quick. A lot of times I'm lucky and I can go find someone else to fill their position, but a lot of times I can't. So that's another way. But so I generally record basically every day, but Saturday I record a guest every single day.
Wow, that's amazing work.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I can see that you bought us a new computer and you're the one doing the work.
Yeah.
So thank you for the new computer.
Thank you. And I'm gonna post a picture of it once we get it and show everybody. Because someone was saying he's just gonna take a trip to Hawaii.
That's great. You know what? Then maybe that'll be next time. We'll do another fundraiser.
There you go.
You have like me, I'm like a pretty usual on Saturday, and
Mhm.
if I don't have anyone up, I'll call in just to say hi
Yeah.
and give a moment to other people. But it seems to me you have enough people in Discord that you could actually just call us and do a 15 or 20-minute little whatever topic.
Right.
And then you could have them as reserve for when people don't show up.
Yeah,
You
there
just
you
be
go.
like,
That's a good idea. Yeah, to keep that. And I think I've seen you active in Discord and for everybody that's not there, the new link is there. I put a new link and it's up to over 100 people, so it's growing and it's getting bigger. And I hope that other, do you find that you've, have other like-minded people to chit chat with there?
I love it. I love it. Great people. The energy is fantastic. There's no rush. And the topics that come up are just beautiful because people aren't hung up about potentially being seen on a video. Like some people just, that isn't their place, right? So they just let it roll. And those topics are beautiful, particularly because, it gives an opportunity for universe to answer your questions. Especially with our group. Think of the people in this chat. Everyone's open-minded and they let it roll on so many different topics that if you're like, I'll go through and just meditate while I'm doing things during the day. I'm just thinking, I want an answer to this and I'm wondering about this and can I get better at this? And when I get into groups like your Discord, I find like people that already have the answer. And so I've been thinking about it, I might ask, and boom, because they're all aware and everyone has their own gifts,
Right.
So please, group, get in there because the more the merrier. And the topics really get more fun with more people.
Right. And here's another interesting thing is, and I'm not really, I don't know, I'm going to have Dr. Alexander back with his partner coming in a couple weeks. I think sometime in early December, but we're going to be talking about their sacred acoustics. And I think they have a special right now of like 4 of their basic ones for like $19. You can download their meditations. And I did one the other day and I was surprised. I did one, it was, there's different brain states, theta, alpha, beta, gamma. And then the first time I did one of their thetas, I was it was in the morning and I was awake and I didn't want to do anything that made me sleepy. And I didn't know what that was going to do. I wasn't expecting it, but I did it and it was weird. It was actually pleasantly positive because I just felt like my mind, I wasn't like in a bad state anyways, but after I did it for like 20 minutes and it's kind of a guided thing, and it's all these binaural beats. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you can feel like the sounds going wah, wah, like around in your head. And, but I finished and I was like, wow, I just feel like, like my brain has been calmed down or something. It's pretty cool. So that's if they're still running that special, I recommend it. Like I said, they don't even know I'm saying that. I just saw it there because I got to kind of prepare anyways for I wanted to do some of their meditations so I can talk about them. And if I haven't experienced them, it's not as, it makes no sense, or it's not going to be as good as conversation unless you've tried it, right?
Yes. And what you're talking about with binaural beats, that is fabulous for anyone that wants to do an out of body and they're curious whether they can get out of their body. Like, have you read Robert? And I don't do out of body. It's just not my thing. But I did go to Robert Monroe's seminar with a bunch of other people that were all NDEers. I never got out of my body, but it was fun to try it. Right. And a bunch of people did, and they had a great time. But the book is 5 Journeys by Robert Monroe. And it's like a university they're great books, 5 Journeys. And there's 2 other ones that he did as a trilogy, Robert Monroe. And he studied OBE and he wrote a diary. And he was a business owner that was in radio and bright guy. and he did like an exceptional job at his descriptions, so that he's the one that realized that binaural beats were happening, right? He was in a radio corporation, and because he was exposed to it, normal guy, never did anything, ended up on these out of body excursions that were unbelievable unless you actually read the process of his growth. But he goes into the noise realm, that out of body, that near death experiences talk about, that noisy, how emotion is so noisy around the planet. He does a great job of describing that and the different layers as you get out into the atmosphere. And so you did it. I'm wondering, did you have any very clear dreams after that you remember?
No, not that I remember, to tell you. I mean, just doing it that first time, I noticed that, that clarity. Second time, I didn't notice as much, and I did it actually again this morning, and I was just in a different state. Maybe, I'm not sure. When I get up, sometimes I'm energetic, sometimes I'm exhausted, sometimes I'm tired. So it's hard to really give an exact, what makes what, how I'm feeling. But and now that I'm thinking about it, what else that I'm into right now, as now we're speaking here, is you can do Gaia for free for the week, but I've already went over it anyways, and I want to finish it. I'm doing Joe Dispenza's Rewired on Gaia, and I think that's really cool, and I'm really enjoying that. I think I'm up to like number 10 out of 13, but I think his stuff is terrific. And hey, if you can watch 2 a day, what is that? You can probably knock it out in your free week, but I really recommend that. And I really don't try to he's not been my guest, so I'm not even promoting him as, as a guest product. I don't really want to even be in that position. I just want to I think it's something good, so I'm sharing it with everybody.
Joe Dispenza is fabulous. Well done. I want to hear what you think when you're done.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Rewire is just fabulous.
And it's fascinating. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to say this while I'm thinking about that, is that guests will offer me stuff for free, and I generally decline it because I don't want to be in a position where I have to promote the guest or their product or service. I try to remain neutral and separate. I just let the guests, give the guest a place to share, and it's up for the audience to decide if they like the guest or not, and if they want to use the guest services or products or whatever.
Are you going to stick to that? Because then I won't. I was going to offer you $1 million product, but
I'm sorry.
Hold off and just not sell it at all.
You can tell everybody.
No, I'm only joking. You know what? Whatever feels right to you, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. I did start, you asked me recently, what do you do? And I always do my stuff just when people call me out of the blue, and it happens constantly. So I met with a website developer this morning, and I said, will you put something down, just so I can have it? For that reason, because I was talking with people in your Discord and the old Discord room, and then I lost track of people. So I thought, I'll do that. And it's not really, it's not a business really. It's just to contact, to have a contact, because the people that you speak with, your chat group is just so much fun. And it's such a relief to be around people that have a completely open mind. Yeah. And there's so many people in the chat room that I'm dying to hear from, like Caroline and Sue, and they're like, I'll call in sometime, but I'm nervous. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, like, half the time I have a bathrobe on, you just can't see it because I'm at nighttime, I'm chilling.
Right.
And so come on in. I want to get to know people, because the more we get this out, the more you get this out, really. What you're doing is making an open statement to the world that it's time for us to create with what we know. No longer hide it. No longer go through the criticisms of, questions and prove it to me. Actually teach each other and get out the information so people can do binaural beats and get out of body if that's their thing, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I'm really grateful. So people you have on your list now, Caroline, I know you're there. And Sue, I know you're there.
Uh,
Who's called in? Because it's really easy to call in. And otherwise, you have to listen to me.
yeah. Well, on that note, I need to run because it says there are four people in the waiting room.
Yay. See, I can motivate them. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks for coming in. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, she's gone. She showed herself out. All right. I'm going to pop back to Kent because we've been trying to get Kent in all evening and see if Kent's system is working yet. If not, we will move on. And while we're waiting, I'm just checking the chat. It looks like he's almost in. And they're talking, it looks like, about angel numbers. And somebody's at work tonight. Caroline's at work tonight. I hope you're not getting in trouble for me watching this podcast. All right, Kent's still having trouble, so let's do this. Let's put him back in the waiting room, and I don't know who to go to next. We'll go to Laura Rathburn and see. And if I didn't get you in order, I apologize. I didn't really know exactly who's next. I feel like I can hear Laura. I hear something. I hear myself. I hope you're not getting in trouble for me watching this podcast. Laura, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. We just need to see you. There you are.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi. Hello, hello. Have you been on before?
No, but last Monday I was on another YouTube channel, Heart and Soul Connected.
Okay.
I did a live with Allie. So I don't know.
No, I just thought you look familiar. That's why I thought maybe you popped in on a Saturday before, but you have not. So where are you located right now?
I live in Lake Elsinore, California, in Southern California.
Lake Elsinore. What major city is that near?
It's halfway between San Diego and Los Angeles.
Oh, really? I mean, what is that highway?
Riverside County.
Is that the 5 that you go from LA down to San Diego?
The 5 or the 15.
5, okay. All right. I know Riverside. I've never heard of the lake, but then I don't live there, so
It's an old city. It's haunted.
It's haunted?
Yes, there are some old buildings.
Oh,
yes.
wow. All right. Well, what do you have to share with us today?
Well, I've been on a spiritual journey for the past 20 years, learning more about the afterlife. And I have 2 sons with autism and intellectual disabilities.
Yeah.
And my oldest son, Nathan, is open to spirit. And for the past 4 years, I've been regularly seeing a psychic every month, practically. And I'm going to see her tomorrow for a spirit circle. But we've become friends, and she's helped me with Nathan because he's had about 5 spirits in the last 3 years or so that have attached to him or he's encountered or heard. And my psychic friend, Deb, who has a website, and she does readings for people here locally in LA and Riverside County. And she does it, by phone for other people. So she's helped cross over these spirits that Nathan has encountered. And I've told her about, she's gone into the energy and helped them, which I think is so wonderful for her to be able to do that. And she's confirmed to me that he's not crazy, that he's hearing these spirits.
How has Nathan's behavior changed when she got the spirits to detach from him?
He was thankful, relieved. Actually, they didn't possess him or anything, but he heard them. And it made him feel better that, somebody was confirming or verifying that what he said was true. So he doesn't feel like he's, not telling the truth. And right before Halloween, a few days before Halloween, he was in the kitchen and he heard a voice next to him say, "I'm here." And on Halloween, I saw Deb. We had a reading with her, and I told her about Nathan's last um, encounter or hearing something. And she went into the energy and she said it was an alien, an ET. And there were two of them that have attached to him or they're around him, they're aware of him. And a few days before Nathan heard the voice, he told me when he woke up that morning that he'd had this really vivid dream about going aboard an ET ship and being given a tour. And it was like it almost happened the way he was describing it. So I think that's really strange that he told me that. And then a few days later, he heard the voice. And then she confirmed that he actually had heard an ET. So
I've had two guests that say that there is an underground alien base under downtown Los Angeles.
could be.
And one of
Yeah.
them said that she saw, I think it was like hybrids there, alien human hybrids or something, and they were growing them there. But I found it fascinating to hear that story from two people that didn't know each other, you know. And
Yeah.
And
And last month on Columbus Day, Nathan and I were walking around Lake Elsinore. There's an actual natural lake that's called Lake Elsinore. That's why the city is named after that. And Nathan is taking a video production class.
mhm.
He's learning all about that. So he saw some clouds that looked nice. They had colors to them. There was like yellow and blue in the clouds. So he decided to film them, you know, for his video class. And when he came home later that day, he was looking at the video that he had taken, and he noticed that there was a blue orb in one portion of the video, and it was moving erratically. And then it disappeared out of the frame. And then a few seconds later, it came back and it was much darker and it was moving erratically. And Nathan was kind of moving his iPhone back and forth filming, but he wasn't like moving it erratically. So we were thinking, well, maybe it was a lens flare, but this blue orb, it was light at first, and then it came back much darker, and it had like white spots all over it. It looked like lights to me, and there was like this cone of darkness, kind of like a shadow, like emanating from it, around it when it was moving. And so I mentioned that to Deb, and I sent her the video to ask her, is this an ET? You know, because they have been reported around our area. And she looked into it and said it was. She felt she was getting alien energy. And then the day that it happened, I was watching YouTube. I watch all these psychics and readers, and they were doing a live, these two psychics. Jen's World Tarot was with Medium Kim. And I submitted a question asking them, did my son actually record an ET ship, or was this just a lens flare or something? And they both went into the energy and they both felt it was an alien. So that was 3 psychics that all felt the same thing. And my son has a little YouTube channel, and he posted it up there, his little short video. It's like 1.5 seconds or 1 minute or so or something. It's very short, 45 seconds or something. The little clip.
I don't know if you saw the video I posted yesterday of Juliana Oka. She's a Japanese woman.
Yes, I watched most of it.
Yeah, okay,
I watch
great.
almost every night.
Okay, great. Thank you. I don't know if you caught. She's living in Los Angeles now. I think she's a lot of times on the Santa Monica Pier or something. But anyways, she said something that I'm pretty sure she said it during the video, if not afterwards. But there is a base underwater near or under Catalina Island.
I've heard that.
And which makes sense because there's a lot of activity out there off the coast of San Diego. You know, that's where I think a lot of those government released UFO sightings are, is out in that region.
Yeah, I think a few months ago I read an article about the Navy filming something.
Right.
They caught it on, and I think they released it.
Yeah, it's been
to the
out for a
public.
while. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's out there. It's, close. Where the ship was like, I don't know, 50,000 feet, and within a second it was at sea level.
Mhm.
Which is,
Yeah,
that's...
they're around us.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming and sharing with us. I appreciate you.
Okay.
I'm
I
going to
love
run
your
to the next
show.
one. Well, thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Don't report. Let's go to the next one. Let's try Shelly Paykar. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it looks like Kent, I don't know if he gave up or what, or maybe he's fixing his channel. Asked to start video, and I wonder if I can see on my list here, if I pull up my thing, who are some of my next guests. What's today's date? The 20th. All right. I don't know. I had spoken before about the holidays, and I'll be here on Saturday following Thanksgiving. So next Saturday I'll still be here. The Saturday and the Christmas Day this year is the Saturday this year on Christmas Day. So I won't be here on that Saturday. Maybe I'll do a Sunday. Maybe I'll switch it to Sunday night that night. But we had talked about making that theme like miracles or Christmas miracles. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know if you guys are going to come share. And so on next Saturday, since it's Thanksgiving, do you want to do something that is like what you have gratitude for or what you're thankful for? I may make it like you can come and say anything, but maybe people who are grateful, maybe we can try something like that. And Shelly's not in yet. Let's see, asked to start video. Hopefully she can make it in. Connie, Laura, hi Barb. I'm just kind of going through the chat here real quick. You should read Dolores Cannon. Interesting. By the way, another fascinating thing I did with the archangel today, and since someone else mentioned Dolores Cannon, is that I asked the archangel if background people are real, and the archangel said yes. And if you don't know what background people are, Dolores Cannon, I think, is the one that originated that idea about people that are on the planet but like have no spirit or soul. It's kind of like if you play a video game and there's just background players like bots. And I first learned of that with Gosha. If you see that video I did with Gosha. And I'm going to put Shelly back into the waiting room. I didn't kick you out, Shelly. I just put you back until maybe you can kind of figure out what's going on with your computer. And we're going to try view 1. And I have a feeling I know who view 1 is, but I can't remember. That seems like a name I've seen before. So yes, that is interesting to get that today with the Archangel Azrael. That looks like, that was interesting. It looked like it just flashed V1. View 1. All right, view 1 is almost here, connecting to audio. Almost here. I see you, view 1, I just don't hear you. And it takes sometimes a minute for your system to connect into the audio of Zoom. So you're almost here. So we'll wait for you. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think about background people? I mean, and when Gosha was here, if you saw that interview with Gosha, which she's one that communicates with extraterrestrials, they told her that background people don't try to figure out who the background people are, because we're not able to do that. Maybe I should put chat up with him and see if I can tell. Now it's connecting again, so maybe it'll connect this time. Oh, we're almost there. Now it says your mic is muted. Ask to unmute. Here we go.
Oh, there you go. I am so sorry for the long wait.
That is okay.
I am new to all this internet stuff with Zoom, and it's kind of confusing. I am so sorry.
That is okay. Let's try something. You see that you have a room light behind you, right? Above your head. So turn around so that you're facing the room light.
Okay, hold on.
Because that way it should illuminate your face and we'll see you even better.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. You don't need to apologize. It's just probably something you didn't think of. So since
Yeah.
I do this all the time, I want to make you look. There we go. We can see you better. So who are you and where are you from?
Hello, my name is Matthew, and I am from the Woodlands.
Woodlands, Houston?
Woodlands, Texas.
Wow. All right. So I'm in San Antonio. You're only you're a hop, skip, and a jump away from me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. How do you like living in the Woodlands?
Well, it's actually really nice, but there are some parts where it's just a lot of chaotic energy and just demonic stuff going around. And I wanted to ask, what is your opinion on Christianity and the devil?
Well, I talked to I'll put it. I don't know. I asked Archangel Azrael today because I interviewed a channeler who was channeling Archangel Azrael, and Archangel Azrael said there is no such thing as demons and there's no such thing as hell.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I hear so many different opinions. I hear someone that will say they've been to hell or a hellish experience, and then someone else will say there's no such thing, or an angel say that, or an archangel. So it's hard for me to have an opinion unless and without having an experience.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? It's kind of like we're just speculating. What do you think?
Well, in what I think is that the devil is pushing his way through. Take the Travis Scott concert incident, for example. If you notice, there's a lot of these symbols with conspiracy and a lot of this demonic stuff and imagery everywhere. And it even has the stage that's an upside down cross making fun of God. And
Wow.
in my mind, I'm sorry. And am I talking too much at all?
No, I was just commenting. That was just at the Travis Scott concert in Houston that he had an upside down cross on the stage.
Yeah, and it's just, to me, devil and God for me, I think, are real. But I am not just a Christian. I am also a Buddhist. So I do find enlightenment in, a certain environment or a certain vibe. And I'm really thankful for everything that God has given me.
I think that's great. I think I am as well. And I think expressing and feeling that gratitude is really good to do, as well as I think one of my guests said that having gratitude is the closest you can get to unconditional love.
Yeah.
So have you had anything paranormal happen to you?
I have a couple of times. This one time I'm walking with my friend and we're going down a street and the light came off. And it's been happening a lot recently too. The light had came off and I'm praying and we're both maybe to myself, I don't know. I'm praying to myself, saying, God everything will be okay. God is always looking out for us. And I'm thinking to myself, should I ask God to turn on the light? And so I asked God to turn on the light, and He turned it on. And as we're walking, I'm like, "Thank you, God." And after that, we just started walking down to the gas station. That was my first experience.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What else have you had happen to you?
The second experience I had was I was walking down the same street, same route, and I was by myself at the time. And I'm walking down to go buy a lighter, and as I get to a certain gas station over there, it's near Kroger, like right across from it. I asked the cashier if he was open. He told me he wasn't. So I start walking down across the street behind the gas station, and I'm looking to see if there's another gas station because I wanted this lighter so badly. So when I finally gave up, I walked back to the original gas station, the Shell gas station near our neighborhood. I sat down for a while, listening to music, and just posted on social media. And as soon as I did that, there was this icebox door, and it just starts, kind of rustling. And I look over, and it is still rustling. It stops for a second. I get up, I go over to the icebox door, and I open it, and there's nothing inside at all. There's no room to fit something that big. That was my second experience.
Well, let me ask you to do one thing first. Can you turn off the audio from YouTube?
Oh,
because it's like we're here. It's okay. It's like we hear an echo.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
So, have you ever had an experience with the devil? Because I think you believe in the devil.
I've had, especially in the original neighborhood that I used to live in down in near Sawdust and near Spring. Just everything around me was very, very dark, and my mind thought was very dark. So I did a lot of drugs in that old neighborhood, and that's something that I wish I had never done, because drugs aren't the solution for happiness and approval. So every single day I would go out and either take LSD, do crystal meth, take shrooms, all this stuff, and I'm thinking, this is my life now. I just want to get high and feel happy. Now, as soon as I turned 18, my parents had left me, and I still don't even know where they are. But I just remember living in that old neighborhood and everything being so dark.
Well, I would think that even being on the drugs would lower your vibration, so that if there are demons or negative entities, you may be more likely to encounter them.
Yeah. And I get really paranoid, and I get really violent in that old neighborhood, and I just don't like it. There is some energy that puts this darkness and anger in me, and I just don't want it at all. I want everyone to be happy in this world. I just want everyone to be peaceful with each other. Just be thankful that you're here. It's just fuck. I don't like the way people are treating people.
Did you get sober?
Yeah, I did. I stopped doing hardcore drugs. I stopped doing crystal meth, perks, what else? LSD, psychedelics, stuff like that.
Good.
There the only thing for me that didn't really, make me a drug addict was weed. People say weed is a, you know, gateway to drugs. No, that is not the case. K2, on the other hand, is synthetic weed, and that's what kills you. There are, marijuana can help with a lot of things. It can help with your anxiety, your sleep, and just makes you feel mellow and calm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically the only thing I've really done.
Well, I think one of my guests said that you can't get healing until you get sober. So it's great that you quit all that other stuff at least.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else you want to share with us?
I guess the last thing I'll say is just be kind to one another, and have a good day, Jeff. You have a wonderful day. Stay safe, okay?
All right, bud. Thanks for coming on and sharing with us.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
All right,
Bye.
take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.
All right. From the Woodlands, Texas. For those of you that don't know, if you take Houston, Texas, I think that's just north of Houston, kind of like a suburb of Houston. Maybe 30 miles outside of Houston. I've never been there. I've heard Glenn Beck lives there. I don't know if that's true or not. The radio host, and I think he used to be on CNN. But maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. All right, so hopefully we'll get Shelly on, and it is getting close to 9 o'clock. My podcast officially goes from 7 to 9. A lot of times I go past 9 because I try to get everybody in. Right now, we don't have anybody else, so if you want to get in, you may want to try to get in before it ends. So it's kind of like my last call I'm making for guests, for anybody who wants to come share. And there's 250 of you out there. So with 250 of you out there, even if 1% wanted to come in here and share, that would be 2.5 people. So I have space for 2.5 more people. And we got Tanya, so she popped in. And hopefully Shelly's will work. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. So it looks like her camera is attached, but she has not turned it on, and then her audio is not attached. So if you happen to be watching, your camera is still linking up, and then your audio is not linked up. So I hope you have your mic plugged in. And I'm just kind of checking the chat. I don't see much going on. So you're still working on it, Shelly. Let's get Tanya in. I'll move you back to the waiting room. And we'll see what's up with Tanya this week. And see how she's going. Hello?
Hi, Jeff. How
Hello.
are you?
Great. How are you? So I was just thinking, because you're from Panama, do you really pronounce your name Tanya, or do you pronounce it Tania?
It's Tania, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Now I
Yeah, with
thought
an
about it.
H.
Yes, Tania. All right. So what's going on with you this week?
So after the last guest kind of like dark experience, I
Right.
thought jumping in here and sharing with you guys something that is the opposite. Like it was actually kind of like angelic per se.
Mm-hmm.
So this one night, I went to sleep. I had a headache, a migraine.
Mm-hmm.
So I placed a hand towel, like a wet hand towel over my eyes, and my forehead so that it can like alleviate or help me with the migraine and the pain and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my background meditation video on the wall because I have a projector that I play every night when I go to sleep. So I guess throughout the night, I move around, and one little part of the hand claw came separated from my cheek. So I was able to see through like a little tiny hole in between my cheeks, and the hand towel.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up because I had to use the restroom, because when I take the medicine for the headache, like that's the side effect. You have
Right.
to use the restroom a lot. So I woke up because I had that kind of feeling. But before I got up from the bed, I looked through that little tiny hole that I have in between my cheek and the towel, and I just started seeing musical notes floating in my room. So I'm looking at the musical notes and I'm trying to register what I'm seeing, and I'm thinking to myself, no way. This have to be like the background, like the video that I'm playing. This is what I'm looking at. And then I was like, okay, in the count of 3, I'm gonna take off my hand towel and I'm gonna be looking at the wall, because that's what I'm gonna be looking at.
So you weren't hearing the music, you were only seeing the notes.
Well, my meditation video was playing, but what I was looking through the little hole was like the musical notes floating in my room.
The musical notes of the music in the meditation.
Right.
Okay.
So then I took off my hand towel, and nope, I wasn't even looking at the wall. Like the wall was to my right and I was looking forward. So I was not looking at the video. And then when I look at the video that I was playing, it had no musical notes whatsoever on it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I was thinking, I can't believe I was looking at the musical notes that were coming from the video, like floating out into my room.
Well, maybe you had kind of somehow entered into like a theta brainwave state, and you were kind of like accessing another realm a little bit. And now you were actually seeing the music as well as hearing it.
Right. And it was amazing.
Have you had any other strange experiences while having a migraine?
While having the migraine, no.
Like, or having the symptoms with the medication you were taking before?
No, this is the first time, and I've been taking the same medication for years.
That's
so
interesting.
I think it's just how they say, like sometimes you go into a wave where you get more open and you get to see and experience like things at another level. I think that's what have been happening to me.
So do you take the medicine all the time as a preventative, or only when you have an actual headache?
Only when I get the headache.
Okay. Wow.
So that's when I take it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a classic migraine that you have?
It's what the lights, yeah.
You see the lights
or
and
the
everything?
sense,
The aura?
Or like stress also can like kick it in.
Wow.
As well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. All right. Well, thanks for coming and sharing that with us. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we've got another person in named B. And I don't recognize the name B. And I want to say thank you to Fuzzy Joy. Joy, thank you so much for the super thanks. I appreciate that. And if you're at work, I thought you're a driver now, so are you listening while driving? And if you're listening while driving, make sure to, don't look while you're driving. Just listen. Thank you very much, Len. And yeah, you want to keep your eyes on the road, of course, but just listen. And B is gone. What happened to B? He maybe will be back. So we've got 15 minutes. We've got 250 people. 2.5 of you, 1% could pop in before we go. Again, so I've been talking about this all night, that I did do the podcast. I recorded it this morning with Ask Angelics from askangelics.com. And let me pause that for a second. Bill Hemingway, thank you very much for that super thanks or donation. I really appreciate that. So yeah, with Ask Angelics, he was channeling Archangel Azrael, and we had an interesting conversation. I think you guys will like that. I will now be recording, well, not now, but tomorrow I'm supposed to be recording a podcast with Ray Fierstein. He is the man that's created the machine that he can contact beings on the other side. So we'll hopefully have a fascinating podcast of me communicating with other beings. And I don't really know all the names of who. I was looking at my calendar to see if anybody's name really stood out for me and who my upcoming guests are. In early December, I have Dr. Alexander coming back with his partner Karen about their sacred acoustics. I have a guy named Peter Maxwell. That's a famous guy that's going to be coming. At the end of the month, Dr. Mary Helen Hensley, who had an NDE, and she's from Ireland. So for those of you that like the international guests, I think I have a guy that's going to be coming in the middle of December, and he's somewhere in Africa, maybe Zambia. So that's another international guest. And I have 2 more guests coming in that are doctors, Dr. Scott Taylor and Dr. Kimberly McGeorge. And and I have a woman that used to be the producer for Judge Judy, so that's going to be interesting. She's coming in December as well. And B is gone again. All right, so we've got 10 minutes left. We'll see if with our 10 minutes left, what we can talk about. You're willing to ask me questions in the chat with what time we have left. Psychic acoustics are amazing. Meditations, really powerful. So looks like Lisa can attest that they have good stuff. Love Judge Judy from Penny. What is the Lady Veteran name? Lady Veteran. I'm not really sure what you're asking me. El Tor. Lady Veteran. And Kathy Joy also likes sacred acoustics. Let's see if B's going to get in this time. I'm not sure who do you mean? The Lady Veteran. I mean like a military veteran? Oh, I heard sound. I think B's gonna make it this time. Ask to unmute. Ask to start video. Maybe that. B will start video later. B, we like to see you. It's YouTube, so hopefully you can start up everything. Oh, he's gone again. Anyways, yes, the veteran, I'm not sure. Jeff, I used to watch your Fortnite streams. I was Oceanic Art. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Nice to see you here. Yeah, that's going way back. A lot of people don't know this, but a couple years ago, I used to live stream video gaming, and it was the game Fortnite. And I was terrible at the game, and that's probably why it wasn't successful. If we played old school video games, Atari video games, or arcade games from the 80s, I'm still awesome at those games, and I would do really well as a live stream. But no one wanted to watch someone who wasn't very good play video games. So, in my opinion, that's why it wasn't successful. I want to ask you, what do you think about the question, why many people say that we must fear from God if God is love? That's a good question, Gogo. I don't think personally that you need to fear God. But that's just my opinion. Janet is here. I think Janet's been on before. We'll see. Hey, Janet. She has been on. Hello, Janet.
Hi.
All right. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. What's going on this
Fantastic.
week? Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Yeah, I had the crud.
The crud?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that word in a while, the crud.
Well, I don't want to say the other stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're better.
And my 94-year-old mother had it, survived just fine.
Good for
and
her.
then my husband and I got it, and we ivermectin, man.
So when you say the crud, you mean the thing that is in the news.
Yeah.
Wow, well,
Yeah.
and wasn't you're still here with us. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that big of a deal for you?
No, it was kind of a big deal, but I had the flu 20 whatever years ago, and I haven't had any kind of flu or anything since then. But yeah. So
my very second podcast is with a friend of mine who's a chiropractor that I went to school with in New York City area. I guess it's, what is it, Queens? That he had COVID, and this was like over a year ago, and we talked about his experience with it and and he got it, his wife got it, his kids got it, and so that's there if you want to listen, and how he dealt with it.
Yeah. I there's a international consortium of doctors that has a website, and I followed their protocol.
Yeah.
And found it very successful. It's like FLCCC something.org or whatever. I can't remember, but it has a whole protocol on what to do prophylactically, what to do when you get it, what to do if you go to the hospital, and all that. And it was quite interesting.
Did you know immediately when you had it that was it, or did you have to go get tested? Did you feel like, oh, maybe I just got a cold or something?
My sister texted me and said that she and her husband had tested positive, and that they were going the next day to get monoclonal antibodies, which they did. And they had been around, my sister had been around my mom. So, I mean, we thought at the very beginning of the whole thing, I won't say what I was going to say, but anyhow, the whole thing, that my mom and dad would probably pass of it.
Right.
Dad did pass in March at 95 years old. I'm their caretakers.
Wow.
But not of COVID.
Right.
And mom had one of the shots, but the second round of it is pretty awful. And she hadn't been feeling well, so I kept pushing it back, and my sister kept pushing it on her, blah, blah, blah. And we had, family stuff about it. Eventually, I wanted her to make it to her 94th birthday, so she did. And she made it to her birthday. Everything's fine. Everybody came to visit. We haven't really, initially we protected him and kept everybody back, but then later they said, oh, hell, just, we want to see people,
Right.
And Dad was stuck in a care facility for 6 weeks, and we couldn't see him, and it just about killed him, not seeing family. That was at the very, very beginning. Anyway, so she did have the one shot, and then when she got the COVID and tested positive, that was on a Thursday. We couldn't get in, but on Monday I took her for monoclonal antibodies. And she had fever and she had some cough, but it never got real bad.
Oh, that's good.
And you can't have, anyway, so, and then about 6 days later, I came down with it pretty good.
Right.
So Anyway, but I survived. It's survivable.
I'm
It's all
glad
fine.
you did.
Yep,
So
ivermectin's a good thing.
did you experience anything paranormal while you were sick?
No, and I thought I would. Like I had high fever. I had 105.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. But what I did have, and I haven't been sleeping well for a couple of weeks because I was worried about mom, and then my husband had it, and then I had it, and anyway. But this is what's interesting, and the reason I'm calling in. I wasn't going to, but you were at the end, and you were having some time, so I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
The other night, this is just a couple of nights ago. Okay, first of all, preface.
Escape the sky. Oh wow, you got those. That's awesome.
I got these.
Yeah. How do you like them?
And very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about halfway through the first one, and I had gone to bed after reading this.
By the way, I'm going to interrupt you here. She's showing the books from Paul Wallace, which I had as a guest on about a few months ago. And we talked about both of those books.
About the Bible talking about ETs.
Right. And I think that video is called it's titled something like The Vatican Says, or a member of the Vatican
Reverend
says that, Reverend of the Vatican says that ETs are in the Bible.
Yeah. So I thought I watched that movie, your video twice. Watching that, I thought, this is, okay. So remember before, the very first time I was on, I talked about how seeing two ships, or two lights come together like this and then go, zoop, that was I couldn't deny extraterrestrial stuff. And it's really been bothering me. And I know from my history that when I'm having issues and I'm pushing stuff back, it's exactly what I need to press into. Coming from a high demand religion that had things that didn't match up, that I kept kind of like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that, because I knew I would have to change my whole life if I looked at it. Mm-hmm. So this is the same thing. It bothers me. This whole ET thing bothers me. So the more I press into it, the more I look into it, the more I breathe through it, the more I have some greater peace. So a couple nights ago, I'd been reading this and I went to bed and I had a dream, or whatever it was, that I was on the other side of the bed near the floor. I mean, as I went around the other side of the bed where my husband sleeps, and all of a sudden I was taken like around like this and slammed to the floor by a dark entity. And in my dream, or whatever it was, I thought I was on the floor over there, but I wasn't. I was laying right here. And I was going, calling out to my husband, help, help, and calling out woke me up. And I don't usually call out or make a lot of noise and stuff when I'm sleeping, unless I kind of snore, but anyway. But when I woke up, I could still feel, now we've talked about this on this thing of people feeling paralyzed. I could feel this presence kind of holding me. And I opened my eyes and I didn't see anything, but instead of, and this is what I think because I've done more study and leaned into all of this rather than pulling away, instead of being afraid when I woke up, I was pissed off. I woke up like, all right, you sucker. I was just mad. I said, I'm a sovereign being. I do not give you authorization to restrain me, hold me, do anything like this. Just get the hell out of here. I was just like, I'm a sovereign being of light. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel like it was a devil thing or an evil or a demonic thing. It felt otherworldly. And in particular, what it felt like, the one guy that you interviewed, and there were like little gray, funky beings running around.
Maybe that was Ronnie Dawson.
Looking for something. Yeah.
The one that he shined his laser at the UFO and they paid him a visit in his house and paralyzed him in his bed.
That's what that felt like.
Yeah. That's who I thought
And-
about when you started telling the story.
And I thought, mm-mm. I am, and also you interviewed another guy who had a lot of out of body experience. He's kind of a funky guy. He's younger. I don't know. He's probably 35ish or whatever. And he said, and I've stayed with me ever since then. He said, never give your sovereignty or authority or power to any being on this side of the veil or the other. And when I woke up out of that, I went, all right. And I got up, went to the bathroom, and before all of this, I would have been filled with terror. Now I was just like, I was just pissed off. And I thought, okay, knock it off. I don't give you any of this authority. Get the hell out of here. I placed myself in a golden bubble of light, and I just laid back to sleep, went right back to sleep.
Right. Yeah. It's funny is I liked that when you first said it the first time. I was thinking about commenting, or I just decided not to comment, but I liked how you right off the bat said I'm a sovereign being in that. And
I'm a sovereign being of light, and you have no power and authority here. Get the hell out of here.
Right. And I'm pretty sure that guest was Cyrus Kirkpatrick. And he was talking about that on the other side, there are good beings and bad beings, and they can trick you, but they can't force you to do anything that you don't want to. And I think you said, just remember that no, they cannot force you to do anything you don't want to. So you can just say no. And kind of like what you did, which is great.
Well, and and I have, in my more religious days in my past, I would have woken up feeling afraid and feeling like there was evil demonic stuff and I was victimized. And it was because also in this book reading, he did, and he articulated so well that, and I've watched a lot of other things, that there are other groups of beings that have come here for different reasons. Some of it's for the genetic stuff, some of it's for the minerals on the planet, some it's for, they have different agendas. And I thought, whatever that agenda was, I'm not playing. Just
right.
So your me watching your channel and leaning into what feels uncomfortable, as I've learned, it's something's, there's this cognitive dissonance. Okay, it's time to lean in and find out what this is. And it has empowered me. It has empowered me. And
that's
I'm
great.
I'm not
that's
that crap.
That's great. I was telling earlier that I was been listening to the Joe Dispenza stuff on Gaia, and I really like his stuff. And
he's so good.
And he talks about you're either living in the past or you're living in the predictable future based on your past. You're just bringing it to the future. But in the present is where it's unpredictable, and it's an unknown. There's possibilities, and I think, but he says it can be uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable is a good thing. It's better to be uncomfortable than being to live in your predictable future when it's an unhappy life. Another, like he's saying, my interpretation of what he's saying is that most people prefer to live unhappily in their predictable future than to live in the unknown present and being uncomfortable.
That's exactly right. I've been to his stuff. I've been to his.
You went to one of his things?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. How was your experience?
It was phenomenal. And when I told you about my shared death experience with my dad and that energy that came through me, there was one other time that I had felt it like that, and that was in a Joe Dispenza event that I went to, and the energy, people started, it was during, of course you're always doing meditations, but during the meditation during the day, it was right before lunch, it was a mid-morning one, and I was laying, I tell you this maybe, anyway, I was laying down on my back with my feet up on a chair, kind of on the floor, and everybody's laying down on the floor, and the room is long and rectangular this way, and so my head was to the majority of the room. So, and that's important in that right at the very end of the meditation, somebody started laughing, and laughing is ha 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 ha, and he he doesn't like it when it gets out of control like that. And people, and he didn't stop at this time, but it was behind me in the room, and I could hear it and feel it, and I was really, talk about being in theta. I was deep in theta, and I could hear it, and the color of the laughter was a orange with gold. I don't know how to say it. I could see the color, and then as it moved around the room and swept whoosh towards me at the other end of the room, I was so open, it went right down through my body, whoosh, that same kind of energy, just a bright gold orange. It sounded like people laughing, but it sounded like birds singing and children and music and waterfall. It's the same kind of a texture and kind of a feeling that when Dad passed and his energy ran through me, his spirit left, it was that same feeling. So
Wow.
Joe Dispenza's work is powerful. If you really do the meditations, you just do the work and get into the present. Yeah.
Are you still doing the work or the meditations?
I am. I don't always do his, but I'm a daily meditator, and I don't know how people have made it through the last couple of years with that. Meditation has been my amazing to calm my brain and to get heart-brain coherence.
Right.
It's been massive. Joe's teachings are phenomenal. I've listened to all of his books and read them, and yeah, and a lot of his podcasts for members that have already attended. People have already attended sessions. Yeah,
that's great. All right.
Anyhow, that's what I got today.
Well, thanks for sharing. I got to run to the next person.
Oh, good. You got somebody. Great.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. iPhone. So this is my last call. This may be my last person unless somebody shows up. iPhone. You know, sometimes they do come in where it's their phone. And I wonder if I know who. It seems familiar, but I could be totally off. Ask to start video. All right, iPhone, where are you? You're here, but you're muted. It's like your mic is muted and your camera is muted. I will start video later. There is no later, iPhone. You are my last guest and I am overtime. So this is your chance. I'll wait for you. If you can get in. Okay, so I guess maybe iPhone changed his mind or her mind. We shall see. IP. Can we have a harmonic? Oh, it seems like the person popped in and out. I'm just checking the chat real quick. Can we have a harmonic collective supernatural convergence? That sounds interesting. Let's see. I understand. Someone put my name and put Shafiq Moniz. Not sure what that's about. Oh no, that's what my wife wrote. And a heart. iPhone, you're almost in. You're in and out. We need to keep you in the podcast, in our realm. Oh, she's gone or he's gone. Maybe she, or I don't know why I'm saying she, could be a he. Anyways, maybe the person got, somehow, it's like it got knocked off. I'll wait a minute to see if this person's going to come back. Otherwise, I will have to go until next time. Oh, iPhone is back. All right, we'll see if this is going to work. Hello? I heard something for a moment. We'll see. The phone was on and off. I will start video later. Okay, video. Oh, your video was on. We're all waiting for you. Okay, Kate. Whoa, that looked like your hand. iPhone is in the ethers, yes. iPhone is somewhere. Up. Nope. iPhone is gone. I don't know if iPhone's going to be able to make it. It looked like that was a him, though, but I'm not sure. It was just I saw a flash of a face. So next Saturday, what do you guys think about that? Do you think about having a post-Thanksgiving gratitude stream? You know, I don't know. Will it be interesting? Will it be too much of like, okay, I'm thankful for the such and such and such? But maybe that will be something that will get some of you guys that are on the fence about coming on the show, that will kind of finally get you all the way in and have you want to come express, what you're thankful for, right? Maybe that will be something that we can do, or you can just share whatever you normally want to share. You're always welcome to share whatever. If I could get people in, easily in and out, or we didn't have any problems like this, it would be pretty cool. Or I could have like, you'll be here if you're going to be, thankful, and like separate, like phone lines, right? Separate Zoom streams where I would know that this person wants to talk about, gratitude, or this person wants to talk about something else. Yes, Jeff, but with a supernatural twist, says Penny. All right, how can we twist it supernaturally to be grateful and to show gratitude? That's a good question. How can we do that? And do you guys express gratitude? I think I said once before that I used to do it every day, and I should get back and do it. I don't feel like I need to write it anymore, but I used to write every day, and I don't remember whose idea that was, but to write 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And so I had it like on my computer. I would type it out, and I have a giant list because it went on for weeks, and then I just stopped. But a lot of times, when I'm about to go to sleep, if I'm laying in my bed and getting ready to fall asleep, I try to, think of what I'm grateful for. How do you speak on your show? Is this Kathy? If you, at the bottom, you have to have Zoom. It's a free app. And once you get your Zoom app, you can just click join. Yeah. Anyways, there's a Zoom app, and once you get the Zoom app, you can click join a meeting. And if you see at the bottom underneath the video there in my description, it says Zoom ID. You type in the ID, and then it'll ask for the passcode, and you can type that, and then you're in. And it's just like that. And can you wish me a happy birthday? Oh, Bexley and beyond, happy birthday to you. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I wish you the best. And I wish you many, 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 many more birthdays. Happy birthdays. All right, well, This is going to be your last chance iPhone. You'll have to maybe figure it out for next week because it's just not, you're just not connecting well. Great time done tonight. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you for saying that. I see a face and it disappeared. All right, so once again, if you want to continue this conversation with your friends here in the chat, you can all join the Discord and chat with each other at any time. The link is below the link is below the Zoom ID. Discord is something that's free. You can sign up. You can get your own free profile, and then you can join. You can use that link to join, and there's over 100 people in there in Discord. And let's see how many people are in there. It looks like 129 people are there. So that's a great place to make friends, hang out. You can chat with each other, both typing, texting, and video. And on that note, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. I hope to see you back next Saturday night. If you're in the U.S., I wish you I hope for you to have a happy Thanksgiving. And I will and I hope you check out these podcasts. I've got another one, a good one for tomorrow, and the one with angelics for Monday, and probably the one I'm going to record tomorrow if all things goes well. That should be up on Tuesday. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your weekend and take care.